So pretty easy concept. How well does the Apple Watch communicate with the iPhone? Let's take a look. So I'm still charging the Apple Watch and I want to go take a walk. My iPhone's pretty much charged, so we can disconnect that. But let's check the stats on the Apple Watch. So there's the move, exercise, stand, okay. Then we have total steps, 2,156, and distance. All right, that one, there it is. Apple Health, 2,156 steps. All right, doesn't really show distance yet. Okay, so I'm gonna walk with this device and see if my walk will count and update my Apple Watch rings. Here we go. All right, it's been a couple hours and I have not been wearing my Apple Watch. It's just been right here on my desk. So let's take a look at the numbers and see if the Apple Watch was able to talk to its mothership, to the Apple iPhone, and get the health data from it while it was charging and resting. And the other thing about this is, you know, let's say you're on a hike and your Apple Watch dies, you still want to be getting credit for all that hiking. And we all know that the iPhones have had accelerometers built in to count the steps. So that's cool. And the two should seamlessly communicate, right? Let's find out. Here are the stats from earlier. We have the Apple Watch on the left, iPhone on the right. So we ended with 2,156 steps. So now we can take a look at the iPhone through Apple Health. Okay, now we're up to 12 flights of floors. Okay. And 5,717 steps. Okay. Now if we check the activity ring, doesn't seem to have updated. So we'll bring the Apple Watch closer and 5 flights, 2,156, same as over 2 hours ago. So all the data that we collect on the iPhone does not transfer to the Apple Watch, and this drives me crazy. It's been this way for well over a year. I don't know why they haven't updated it. So if you go to fitness, yeah. So throughout the day, if you don't have these with you all day, the step count on your iPhone versus the step count on your Apple Watch differ. Does that make sense to anyone? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why they can't communicate to one another. And right there in Apple Health, we can clearly show that they don't. So there's a summary, 12 flights of stairs and 5. And steps, 2,156. Yeah, so if you had some competition going with one of your friends, then, well, you're in trouble, because if your Apple Watch died, you're not going to get credit for your exercise. The other thing that kind of drives me crazy on the Apple Watch is that you can't add a workout in here. There is the option to connect certain apps. So I have this app called PowerSync, and what that does, when you're syncing, this is synchronizing Fitbit data to Apple Health. And within Fitbit, I have 4,000 steps. And now if I go back to Apple Health, I have 9,059 steps. So, but still, that doesn't do any good because it doesn't transfer to the watch. So if you want to complete your rings, you have to wear the watch, even though this has the capability of tracking floors and steps and a whole bunch of other stuff. Very unfortunate. Maybe Apple will fix that in another version of OS, or maybe they'll fix it with the Apple Watch 7. I don't know. I sure hope so. But at least you learned one new thing, that if you want to push steps from Fitbit to your Apple Health for some reason, you can do that through PowerSync, and that's a free app that you can just download, and this is what the icon looks like. PowerSync, little heart there. Now to further hammer home the point that I haven't been using the watch, just put it on. If you open up your Apple Watch app on your phone and then go to General, scroll all the way down to Usage, has to refresh for a second, and then scroll all the way down again right there. Time since last full charge, 23 minutes. Standby, 1 hour and 38 minutes. So there you go. And it's also a cool little feature where you can see how long you've been using or how much use you got out of your Apple Watch during your charge cycles. Pretty cool. And then I have this little widget set up where I scroll to the left and I can see my Apple Watch battery percentage as well. So fun stuff with the Apple Watch and iPhone. So now again, you get walking because I have a bunch of stats to make up. Well, I hope you found that interesting. I did. Interesting and I guess frustrating because the Apple Watch and the iPhone are still not fully communicating. Fitbit's able to do that, and so is Samsung. So if your wearable is left at home or it's at home charging, you can still get stats within the health apps for both Fitbit and Samsung. But for some reason, Garmin and also Apple, I mean, the algorithms can't be that complicated. Really, you're talking about, okay, so if you're getting data from one device, the iPhone, and you're getting data from the other device, Apple, and they both have data, well, if this is the primary and this one has more steps, then just give it all to that? Or I don't know. If Fitbit and Samsung can do it, I don't understand why Garmin and Apple can't do that. And the worst part is not so much that you miss out on a couple hundred steps when your device is charging, but more so if you were out on an adventure and your wearable died, whether it's Garmin or Apple, you wouldn't get any of those stats. It's not life or death. It's just one of those things. If you're if you're addicted to gadgets and you just have to get your 10,000 or 5,000 or your 7,000 steps a day. Well, thank you so much for watching, and pithy comments down below. Hopefully this will get resolved. And yes, let the credits roll for the Paramount Kid. We'll see you real soon. Goodbye. Now I couldn't just end the video. I had to wrap it up and show you that I actually did finish my rings. Let's take a look at the final stats of the day. So I was able to fully complete my rings. Here comes some cool animation. Just kind of goes around and around and around. Then if you scroll down, you can see there's the move. So I completed not just 100%, but 273. Exercise 1,000. What does that read? Oh, that's hard for me to read. Huh. Yeah, 1,739%. because it did 261 minutes instead of just 15. And stand goal, 127%. Been able to stand or move about 200, 300 steps for 14 hours today. So that's pretty good. Sorry, my camera is having trouble focusing. Come on, Samsung. I am filming on the Samsung S21. So there you go. And the battery life, many hours later, 62%. Thanks for staying till the very end and watching those credits. And I'll have another video about the Apple Watch and its poor communication. Had this watch communicated correctly, I would have many more steps. And to put this in perspective, I was wearing multiple watches today. And the Garmin, if you can read that, since the Garmin VivoActive 4 has that much better battery life and I didn't have to charge it today, I was able to rack up 13,298. So had the Apple Watch communicated with the iPhone when I went on that walk, this would be about the same. The step accuracy or step count between Garmin and Apple is really close, except you do have to wear them all day. And then Samsung, pretty close. This is a newer model that I've been testing for a few weeks, the Samsung Galaxy Fit 2. And as you can see, it ran a little behind today. And I wore this all day, right next to the Garmin, and it was not quite 4,000 steps shy, which doesn't make any sense when it was on my right wrist. All right, that's all I have. Let me know if you have any pithy questions down below. Good night.